Tbsp Delight. As always, it's great to have you here. Today, we are making fish stew, one of my all-time favorite. I do love my meat, don't get me wrong, but nothing beats a healthy and delicious fish stew. The simplicity of the process and the taste it delivers makes this fish stew a go-to for any day. This recipe will give you the fish stew to remember for the rest of your culinary life. Enough of the talking, let's get cooking already. Debbie, you forgot something. What? No. Sorry family, if you're new on this channel, welcome to Tbsp Delight. If you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscription button as well as the little bell so that whenever I post a new video, you will be the first to know. Now, let's really get cooking. For your delicious fish stew, you need your plum tomatoes, pointed peppers, mixed peppers. Now these peppers enhance the flavor of your stew, making it different from the normal fish stew you know, so do not omit it, okay? You need your fresh tomatoes, your scotch bonnet pepper, salt, oil. You also need your garlic powder, your black pepper, vegetable seasoning, cumin powder, and your rosemary. Of course, the king of the ingredients, which is the fish. I'm using hake fish for this because of the unique taste. You can use your favorite fish, but hake gives it extra flavor. I'm using some onions as well, ginger, garlic, some bay leaves, 1 seasoning cube, and my tomato puree. I will leave the exact measurements of ingredients in the description box below, so don't forget to check it. Begin by chopping 1 of the white onion and 1 of the red onions and all the ginger and garlic. I'll leave these for prepping the stew later, okay? Transfer them into a blender with a little bit of water. Blend it all together and start with the fish. I'll season it with some salt, half of the seasoning cube, my black pepper, rosemary, garlic powder, cumin powder, vegetable seasoning, 1 bay leaf, and come in with my blended mix and mix it all together. Now normally when I'm seasoning fish, I wouldn't use this much seasoning, but because it's going to go into the stew, I want to intensify the flavor before I add it to the stew. Cover it and let it marinate for about 30 minutes. In a hot oil, sprinkle some flour. Now the flour will prevent the fish from sticking and tearing apart. This is a new hack I've taught you. I know some people complain a lot when frying fish, so whenever you're frying fish, don't skip this hack, okay? Once it's brown on one side, flip it over, and once it gets golden brown on both sides, transfer it to a plate and set it aside for later use, okay? I'll repeat the same process for the rest of the fish, and once it's ready, look at that, it looks so attractive, but I won't be tempted as always because I need it in my stew. Now let's begin the real deal. Use the same oil you used to fry the fish. Do not take out the blackened part as that intensifies the flavor. Transfer your blended onion, garlic and ginger paste, stir it together to combine, and fry that for about 2 minutes. Yes, add the stock or the remaining marinade from the fish. Do not throw it away. This is a secret as it will help intensify the flavors of your stew. Don't tell anyone, okay? While that is frying, I'll chop up my onions into tiny slices, which goes next into the base. I'll transfer only half of it, and the rest of the half will go in later as I love some crunch in my stew. I'll season my base with some of the seasoning. So I've got my black pepper, my cumin powder, vegetable seasoning, nutmeg, what else? What I showed you, and some salt. Doing it this way will actually intensify the flavor of the stew right before you start it. I'll allow it to fry for another 2 minutes and transfer 2 tablespoons of my tomato puree, stir it together to combine and allow it to fry for another 5 minutes. Now we do not have time to wait, so whenever you're free, continue with something else. As you can see, I'll cut my vegetables and my tomatoes into cubes and blend it together with the pepper, with my plum tomato as well. And once that comes together, we will continue by adding it to our stew base, which has fried beautifully. Stir it together again to combine well, cover it and let it cook on medium-low heat. After another 10 minutes, add your bay leaves, stir it together again and allow it to cook for another 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, add your seasoning cube, nutmeg, cumin powder, rosemary, vegetable seasoning, salt, and of course my shrimp powder. I never go without it, as it will intensify the taste of this fish stew, so don't forget to add it. I'll also add some curry powder, which I forgot to mention from the beginning, and some salt to taste. Cover it and allow it to simmer on low heat. After about 10 minutes, I'll add half teaspoon of baking soda to take away any tanginess in the stew. Cover it and let it simmer on low heat for another 10 minutes. Now, add the rest of the onion which we left for later use, and this will give it extra flavor and extra crunchiness. Add your fish at the same time. Be careful it doesn't burn you, okay? You can see all the bubbles coming out. Just do it on low heat so that you don't hurt yourself, okay? Jiggle it around, but don't stir it too rigorously or else you'll tear apart the fish. Cover it again, turn it to very low heat and allow it to simmer, stirring it intermittently to make sure it doesn't burn. Taste for salt as well as you go on, and cover it, let it simmer again. And after another 20 minutes of simmering, I am going to take out all the extra oil because we are always sticking to the healthy part. So I'm just scooping off the extra oil, which I'll use for another stew or my jollof rice later. Stir it carefully and allow it to simmer for another 5 minutes, and voila, our stew is well and done. I should have actually added the onions very later, but hey, it turned out perfectly still. Just look at that. It pairs well with so many accompaniments like rice, fried plantain, yam, even a pinboard. Yeah. Just look at that. Bring your plate and I'll serve you some. I love mine with some good white rice, so I'm just going to serve some with some rice, and it's about to go down. It's time to taste. Perfecto. Trying to get some fish. How'd they do it? As always, perfection. This is Tbsp Delight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that whenever I post a video, you will be the first to be notified. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next adventure. Bye for now. I love you all, but God loves you most. Bye.